We have a possible change to bearish momentum. Look for a move to the downside on pound Kiwi 1 minute chart.
Salute trade game team. Pardon the robots running in the back. I'm testing them while I'm making the video, so you do hear the alerts going off. I apologize in advance. This is going to be a response video to this Dolly exchange, brother. And before I get into it, oh, my mouse is acting up on me today. Boy, my mouse is acting up on me. Okay. Pardon that. It's going crazy over here. And please believe me, I got a bunch of mouses in the back. Okay, so before we get into the video, let me give the quick disclaimer. I don't have a problem with Dolly Exchange. This guy has 62,000 subscribers. You know, I feel like, one, what he's saying in this video, I want to counteract and give my opinion because he said he wanted a debate.
1 minute chart.
Also, I feel like this is a teachable moment. 3, I don't really want to hate on no young brothers do anything because clearly he's profitable. 1, 2, what he does works for him. So I don't want y'all to think I'm going to make this video trying to get at him, because that's not what I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm not going to be trying to diss him or cook him or, you know, hate on what he's doing. But he's definitely wrong. And contrary to what people believe, I don't teach the moving average cross, because a lot of people think that I teach that move. Primarily, I use various moves. The moving average cross is one of them. And it does work, so I'm going to explain that. The trend lines also does work, because those are the 2 things he said doesn't work, or it doesn't work for him. And he said a bunch of things about it. So we're going to respond to the video, and I'm going to explain some things. Now, I'm not going to give no extra sauce to nobody. I'm not going to be teaching y'all how to fix it. If you don't know how it works, if you want to learn, come ask me.
We have TK Cell, 15 minute chart.
I'm not going to teach you. So once again, pardon the alerts going off. Those are robots that I'm testing, and I'm making sure they work before I take them to market. But let's get into it. So let's start the video off. And shout out to this brother, because he's doing this thing, by the way.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Doyle back with another video. Today's video, man, I gotta make this video, bro.
I ain't gonna front though. I'm not gonna hate. I'll be liking his background music. I'll be liking the background music to his videos.
I gotta do this because I just want to save you some time, bro. Again, I was a YouTube watcher. I stopped watching YouTube. I started creating.
I agree.
And when I was a YouTube watcher, I used to see people talking about this strategy, you're gonna win, you're gonna do this, do that, and then when you use it, it just don't work, bro. So I'm gonna give you the top 2 strategies that is terrible. It's literally the worst strategies, bro. So coming in at number 2, gotta be the Ema Cross. I'm not even about to talk about no examples. You should know, if trading was this easy, bro, we'd all be rich. We'll all be rich, bro. Like, there wouldn't be no videos, none of that, because...
All right, let me pause. Okay, so the moving average cross. Okay, so let's talk about the moving average cross and why it doesn't work and why it does work. First of all, this is let me give the YouTube disclaimer. You guys got to be careful with YouTube, because people get on here and anybody could get on here and give an opinion, including him. And this is not a diss at him, but this is just to explain something to you people that watch these videos. For one, when you're kind of young like him, you don't really have all the answers. When you get older, some things that didn't make sense to you when you were his age will make sense to you now.
KJ by 1 minute chart.
With that in mind, that's why when it comes to me trading, I'm a little bit better than some people, because I've been through some stuff and I know not to just dismiss everything like this, like the younger generation. Shout out to the young boys. But okay, based off the way that he trades, right? Moving average cross strategy is not ideal for anybody that trades the 15-minute and lower. So if you're trading a 15-minute and you're trying to trade off a moving average cross, the volatility is going to get you cooked out of the market. And if you're doing like a 1 to 2, 1 to 3, anything more than a 1 to 1 on a lower time frame or for EMA is a bad idea. So for Dolly to say it's a terrible strategy, he's correct. Based off the way that he trades, he's correct. If you trade 30-minute, 1 hour and up, the volatility becomes less volatile and the price becomes more clear. Now, the price is the price no matter what time frame you're on. Anybody tells you that different time frames, different things are happening, they're right. But the way that they're happening, the direction is more clear the higher the time frame. That's why people say top-down analysis, right? So if you're doing an EMA cross on a 5-minute chart, you're crazy. You'll be retarded to do that. So he's right for that. But he's also wrong because it works. It just doesn't work for the way that he trades. And a lot of you people go on here and listen to these YouTubers, and they kind of overcomplicate trading because they want to kind of he wants to get in and get out. That to me, that's my opinion of how he trades. Don't have a problem with it. I want to get in my trade and be comfortable for the day in my trade. I want to be able to swim in my trade, eat in my trade, sleep in my trade, hit the cooch in my trade, drink in my trade. I'm that kind of trader, completely different from the type of trader he is. So it works for me. Now, do I teach the EMA cross? Yes, but is it the way that you should use the EMA? No. A lot of you people on YouTube who talk about the moving average cross don't understand that's not what the moving average is for.
TK by 1 minute chart.
He's not trading it properly, so it doesn't work properly for him, and that makes sense. But I've seen countless videos talk about the EMA cross, and I keep telling you guys, it's because you don't use the right EMAs, one, because this is mathematical. Secondly, you are not doing it right anyway. You guys are doing it wrong because you are using the wrong time frame for the right strategy. The EMA cross is a terrible strategy for trading on a 15-minute and lower. You can do it on a 15-minute, but your risk to reward would be a little bit choppy and dicier because the choppier the market, the least useful a EMA will be to you, except other than to tell you price direction. Now, if you're going to go 15-minute and lower, you should trade price action. It's easier to understand because you know you're not trying to stay in the trade at that point because it's just too volatile. Imagine staying in a trade in an hour. The trade is going to be on a whole different part of the chart.
We have a possible change to bearish momentum. Look for a move to the downside on Kiwi dollar 5-minute chart.
So just understand, for anybody who's trying to trade 15-minute and lower, they shouldn't be using the EMA, in my opinion, unless they want one for price. Which, if you pay attention to a lot of these people charts, they do have that. But for scalping, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. For intraday and swing trading, it's definitely going to work for you. If you're using the EMA cross, it's going to usually win way more than it's going to lose. And if you get in the trade based off of EMA cross, if you're using the right EMAs, you will have a trend because the price is being pushed through there for a reason. I do teach all this, of course. So if you want to know the reason, hit me up. Now, understand the bank is pushing price through there, and the indication of that is when the EMA crosses. So if you don't know that, it's because you're on a lower time frame. Now, is he wrong for saying that? No, he's not wrong for saying that. But is he correct about it not working? He is incorrect. Now, the reason he is incorrect is because he's talking about what he knows versus what he don't. And I've come to learn that when you don't understand something, it does not mean it doesn't work. It just isn't right for you. So when I see YouTubers come out and say things don't work or they're bad, it's because they don't know what they're saying. I kind of get leery about them for the simple fact that you've been trading long enough to know better than that, Mr. Doley. But, well, it's cool. Like I said, I'm not going to cape for the EMA cross because it's not what I mainly use. A lot of people think I do, but I don't. The EMA cross is a good signal of a trend direction. That's it. But if you're solely trading off of it, then you're wrong because everybody who knows the way I trade, they know that I trade supply and demand is the number one source of my trading. The EMA cross is confirmation of it. It's a huge confirmation of supply and demand direction. And that's what I use combined for a lot of my trading, but it's not the majority. So as far as what he said about the EMA, the reason he's saying this is because he trades on a lower time frame, and it's bad to trade EMAs on a lower time frame.
Cloud sell, 1 minute chart.
Horrible.
EMA cross, come on now. People use a 50, 200 EMA cross, 5, 13, I see the 9, 21. Longer down the road is not going to work out.
And just to let you know, he's actually incorrect. If you use a 200, the 200 is the most respected EMA. I know traders who traded over 10 years. They use EMAs and they win and they are rich. Am I going to listen to them or listen to him? So once again, if you want to listen to him, he does have a lot of subscribers. He's profitable. I'm just telling you, as an older person and someone that has learned from traders, we all know that as you get older and you trade, you build up an arsenal of strategies. But the EMA cross is definitely not one you rule out, okay? So he wants to rule it out for whatever reason, say it's not good. Like I said, my analysis of his reasoning is based off the time frame he trades. I wouldn't use it either. So I'm not against what he's saying. But I'm just telling you he is not correct, though. It does work. If you go to a chart and you use the EMA cross, if you go to any chart with an EMA cross on it, you will see that it definitely works. And let's just go to a chart real quick. Let's shoot over to a chart real fast. I'm sorry, guys. I do want to show a chart. So let me just set it up real fast. I'm gonna go to a raw chart. Let's see if I can get a raw chart on here. Okay, we got a raw chart, right? And let's just put some EMAs on here. You won't be able to see what EMA I'm putting on here, but it's okay. I'll explain it to you because I don't really want to tell the EMAs I'm using because people don't know the right ones and I'm not giving them the access to it. Because if you don't know, you should say you don't know. But if you're going to act like you know, then you should know what EMAs I'm using. And people that know EMAs will know what EMAs I'm using, okay? So just bear with me. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm dropping my EMAs on here. That's one. And I'm using two that are very good to use together. And I'm putting them on the chart. As you can see, you should have saw one pop up. And you will see another pop up in a second. I got a lot of charts open, so my MT4 is moving a little slower than it normally would. Okay, I gotta fix one thing about these. Sorry, because it's set to something it shouldn't be set to. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me make sure y'all can see this on y'all screen. Okay, y'all can see it. Okay, so let's look at all the times that this crossed on the 30-minute, okay? Because the 30-minute is a little bit choppier than what I would use, but it's a good example because it's a low enough time frame. The EMA crossed to the upside here, right? How many pips did you get off the cross? You got 212 pips. So does that work? Yes or no, people? Okay, it works. Let's use another one. The EMA crossed to the downside here. You see where the arrow popped out? Let's see how many pips you would have got had you taken this EMA cross trade. 307 pips. Did that work, guys? Did it work? And guess what? If you stayed in the trade when it pulled back, because you believe in your trade, if you stayed in this cross trade right here, right? Guess what? 614 pips. Guess what? 963 pips. You would still be in this trade off of an EMA cross. The reason this works for me and not for him, and let's go back to his video. The reason this works for him and not works for me and not for him is because I know what EMAs to use. I know how to use them. So he's not necessarily wrong for saying they don't work, but he's wrong for saying they don't work at all. They don't work for him because of the way he trades. I just went on a 30-minute chart in front of you, and this is gold. And I just showed you 900 pips. I showed you 3 winning trades off 3 crosses, not 1 cross loss. Why did that happen? Because I used the right EMAs. See, people think EMAs are just meant to do whatever you want with them. No, they have a certain mathematical way that you have to use them. So when you don't know the science behind them, don't say they don't work. Just say you don't know how to use them. And it's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you guys have to understand there's more to learn. Just because you're successful at trading one way doesn't mean there's not other ways you can learn. There's going to be times when you can't take a trade because you only trade one way. If you learn 3 or 4 ways, there's probably going to be times when you can take a bunch of trades. Chart. You see what I'm saying? That's why I have a bunch of different robots, because I use a bunch of different strategies. And I'm able to take as many pips as I am because I know a bunch of different ways to get in that market.
Okay. Sorry to bust your bubble. Oh, and I want to say this before I get started. You know I already got started. This is my personal opinion on how I feel about these 2 strategies. Again,
you don't need to hear that out.
Bro, do not do EMA cross trading, bro. Like, and don't get me wrong, you will win sometimes, but longer down the road, you will lose money, bro. I promise you. Your stop loss is going to be extremely large. You taking crosses, you putting your...
None of this is true. If you combine the EMA with the supply and demand, you will know exactly where the trade is going and where to put the stop loss. So he's speaking from his own, like he said, his own opinion, and he's wrong. I think me and him started trading around the same time too. But remember, I think he learned from one person in itself. I had a person who traded for over 10 years teaching me, and I had a bunch of other traders for
We
over
have
10
a
years
possible
teaching me.
change to
So I
bullish
think I have an
momentum.
advantage over
Look
him.
for a move to the upside on Kiwi Loonie 1 minute chart.
And my partner has family that understands finances. They have like a background in it, so I think I kind of have an advantage over him. And I'm older, so I'll factor that into why he's saying what he's saying as well. I'm not knocking him, but I feel like you still gotta treat this trading like just because you're successful at one thing doesn't mean you can't learn other things. Don't knock other things because they don't work for you. That means you just haven't mastered them yet. Anything can work for you if you master it.
EMAs and stuff. It's just, no, bro. Price action is king, man. Don't do it. I'm trying to save you some time, bro, because there's going to be people on YouTube teaching stuff that just don't work long term. Now, coming in at number one, that's why I ain't want to talk too much about the EMAs, because, bro, we don't care about that. Coming in at number one, the worst strategy, in my opinion, this is just my opinion before people start being in the comments debating, and we can debate. I ain't gonna lie. The worst strategy, in my opinion, have to be trend line trading.
Once again, let's go to the chart because I think he's wrong. Even though I'm not big on trend lines either. I kind of think you shouldn't just jump out the window like that about it. I mean, at the end of the day, I do get what he's saying, but once again, I could look at a chart and see a trend line that's clear. If you don't use them, fine. But don't say they don't work, because I see, like, I could look at this and see that this is a trend line that works. How do they not work? Like, look, this is a trend line. This is a trend line. Let's delete this one. Let's make one that's smaller. This worked. You put one here. This worked. I don't get it. It's a trend line. I mean, it works. Why does it not work? This trend line, it acts as support and resistance just like supply and demand. So why does it not work? I don't get this. And once again, the reason that something like a trend line will confuse you or not work properly is because you're on a lower time frame. The lower the time frame, the more noisy your chart is. If I go to an hour, I'm on an hour. That's why this looks clear. If you go to a 4 hour, your trend lines look even clearer. You know what I mean? Like, your trend lines get clearer the higher your time frame. You guys that talk on these lower time frames, you just making it harder for yourself, man. That's all you're doing. So these trend lines work, man. It depends on the time frame and how you trade. So as you can see, I don't get how a trend line don't work. Like, what? Even though I don't use them, they do work. You just gotta know how to use them. Once again, this is a trend line. Let's just put it in the right spot because he says people be moving them. You gotta move them. They're not supposed to just be perfect now. You gotta move them. You gotta move them a little. You gotta play with them a little. But yeah, that one is a bad example. Let me delete that. But yeah, they work. They definitely work. They work. They definitely work, man. They work, man. So once again, I kind of get why he's saying this because he's on a lower time frame. But I don't use trend lines like that. But they definitely work. I don't get why somebody would say they don't work. That's kind of weird to me. That's kind of weird to me, man. But anyway, back to the video. I just want to hear a little bit. I'm not going to go too deep into what he's saying because this video is 12 minutes, and that means I'm going to be talking for like 30.
This is to give trend line traders a moment of silence. Now, I'm not coming on here trying to bash nobody's strategy. If you trade with trend lines, keep doing it. I'm not telling you to stop. I'm telling you how basically there is no accuracy with trend line trading. I'm this guy. I just got to keep it a buck.
And just to let you guys know, he's right. There's no accuracy with any indicator, period. But once again, there's no accuracy with trading at all. So I don't even understand the comment because even price is manipulated. So you want to use price action strictly, fine. But what happens when it gets manipulated? So you just take the loss and take another trade. Okay, so what's the difference between you and somebody that lost on a trend line? Y'all both lost. So the comment is another comment that I think is weird. I don't see the point in making a comment if that's how you feel.
When it comes to trend line trading, it's so many ways to trade it. You can trade it the breakout of the trend line. You can trade it like in a wedge. It's so many ways to trade the trend line.
There's a lot of ways.
But most of the time,
We
I
have
see
a
people
possible
trade the
change
breakout
to
of the trend
bullish
line.
momentum.
Now,
Look for a move to the upside
you
on
can
pound
backtest
looney
this
1 minute
stuff,
chart.
and you're gonna see that it wins a lot. But then when you try to catch it live, you realize that wow, this stuff is actually not that accurate. And I'm gonna do a replay mode. I'm just gonna simulate.
Now this
I'm
I
just gonna
agree
show
with.
you.
This I agree with. When you do a trend line and you try to trade off of it, you do have to usually wait. And I guess he has a problem with patience, because if you make a trend line and it is violated in the live, in the back test it works, that's because you're not following the rules of a trend line. If you have a trend line, you have to wait for price close. You can't wait for price touch. If you're a trader who goes off touch, which he probably doesn't admit this, but if he really want to keep it a beam, he's probably a trader that goes off touch. If price touches the trend line and you jump in the trade, that's not how you trade a trend line. You should wait for price to close. That confirms a new break of the structure of the trend line. Now, I'm not trying to say this to teach him, because he probably knows this. He just doesn't like it. But at the end of the day, if you make a trend line and price disrespects the trend line, that means price is now ready to act at the opposite direction of the trend. So that means if your trend is in a sell and you got a trend line under and it breaks through, the resistance of the trend line is now the support of the trend line. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's simple stuff. Why is it not working? Because you say it's not working. Now, I wouldn't come out and say it doesn't work. I just don't get why somebody would come out and do this. Because everything works if you master it. That means you just saying, I don't know how to use these. And that's fine, but just say that. Why say it don't work? I don't get like why you would do that. Because it works for people. I don't trade trend lines and I know they work. I'm not using them. I ain't fucking, when I feel like him, I ain't fucking with no trend line, but it works. Why would you say it don't work?
Out my
I
trend
don't
line.
get this.
And another issue about trend line trading is, what is the correct way to draw the trend line? Do you draw by the wicks? Do you draw by the bodies? People teach it in different ways, and it's just like,
let me answer
what is the
this
right
too.
way?
This is another thing. Some of you people just don't. Y'all trade weird. Let me explain how you do it. Because if you use moving averages, you would understand this. This is how you trade a trend line. Boom. This is how you trade a trend line. I'm gonna answer this question. So somebody show him this video. He asks how you trade a trend line. You go to the price chart. You see this line? Y'all use candles. Guess what? I don't need none of this. I don't even need the line. Y'all use candles. I don't really care about candles. But this is how you trade a trend line. If for those that's asking. This is how you trade a trend line. You do it like this. I wish I knew how to move this thing. My mouse is just not working with me today. But I'm going to show you. This is how you trade a trend line. Okay? This is how you trade it. Right there. Now you put the candles back. You see it? You see it, guys? This is what you do when you want to trade trend lines. Just use the line chart, guys. That's what these instruments are for. You guys act like these instruments are here and it's a curse to use them. Just use the line chart and put your trend line at the end of the price. And you see where this was clearly a downtrend. And how did you identify the downtrend? Forget my arrows, because my arrows told you, my indicator told you that. But forget the indicator, because people act like these things are curses. The trend lines is showing you, the two trend lines on this chart on the 4 hour tells you should be selling. And guess what the chart has been doing? Now let's put the period separator. Look at the whole month, what this has been doing. All right, so don't overcomplicate trading by saying this and that don't work. Just don't. Figure out how it works. If it don't work for you, it works for somebody else. This is why I tell y'all, be careful with YouTube. And I'm not knocking him, because what he does obviously works. What he's teaching obviously works for him. But don't think that this doesn't work because he said that. I'm just showing y'all that that's clearly not true. You got to go to the chart. The chart is going to give you the answer. I just showed you. Let me move the period separator. A trend line shows you that you should be selling on gold, and gold has been selling for weeks. And he's going to tell you that this doesn't work. What? So once again, people, once again, be careful. Be careful. And I just realized I wasn't showing you that. So let me show you that on the chart. This is what I mean. You just go to the line chart. You just go to the line, take your candles off, because with the candles it's noisy. If you really want less noise on your chart, boom. And then look what the trend line showed you. What is the trend line showing you right here? Showing you that this is a downtrend, right? So forget the arrows I got on my chart, like I said earlier, that just shows you to sell, because I make it easy for y'all. The arrows is showing you to sell. Forget the arrows. Let's put the period separator and look for how many days you would have been selling off of just trend lines. The moving average cross, once again, let's go. Let's use both of these strategies he said don't work. And this is not to shit on young boy. This is not to shit on him at all, because he knows what he's doing. But let's look. Sell. You'd have took the sell, you'd have been rich. Then you got a cross right here for the buy. Look. When price tried to reverse. Look. And this is all off the two strategies. I'm using these, and I don't use this strategy.
We have a possible change to bullish momentum.
The Ema Cross is not my
Look
main
for a
strategy.
move to the upside on Euro-Loonie 1 minute chart.
And I trade breakouts, and this is the perfect way to get a breakout, and I still don't use this. You got your buy right here. Even my arrow didn't catch the buy. But if you go based off the cross of the EMA, you got to know what EMAs to use, by the way, because a lot of y'all be using the wrong ones. If you're using the EMAs, look at this big-ass buy. Now, let's just count how many pips this was. If you caught this EMA breakout, because that's a breakout, I keep telling y'all, when you see that, the bank is pushing price through there, but you got to know what EMA to use to see it. That's what the problem is. You don't know what EMA to use, you won't notice. Look at that, 700 pips. 700 pips from an EMA cross. And it broke the trend line. And now, guess what? It created a new trend line. It wasn't over. It just created a funnel. It created another trend line. Guys, it works. Stop saying stuff don't work because you don't know how to use it. That's all I'm saying here. It's not a diss, but y'all got to really be careful how y'all talk to people, how y'all educating people, because this clearly worked. It worked hard. Actually, if you're scalping, it's not going to help you. But if you're intraday or swing trader, you just killed the market right here. You killed the market. And once again, like I said, this ain't no beef, man. It's just to show y'all that sometimes y'all got to be careful what y'all listen to on this YouTube, man.
I feel like when you're trying to pick a strategy, it should be very precise. It should be, we should all be getting in the same area, or at least the same time. Like, we should all be getting in at the same trigger.
No. I got to pause. That is wild what he just
We
said.
have a possible change to bearish momentum. Look for a move to the downside on Kiwi Swiss 1 minute chart.
Look at this. He said precise entries. These are precise entries. Now, where would you put your stop loss on this trade right here? Where would you put your stop loss? Let's show you, because this is precise. This is extremely precise. Actually, this is trading for dummies. This is trading it easy. I'm gonna show y'all something. You get in a buy here, you would simply put your stop loss right here. It's just the rules. You would put your stop loss behind the lowest low. This is not rocket science. Everybody who trades knows this. Your lowest low is right here. So you would put your stop loss here, and you would take your buy. Where would you put your buy? How do you determine an entry, right? Let's just show y'all this. We're going to teach today. We're going to teach y'all some stuff. I'm going to teach Dolly some stuff too, man. Come on, Dolly. Come on, man. Come sign up for a class. No, I'm just joking at that point. I'm not trying to diss. This is where you would put. All right, if you took a buy, right? Let me put the real TP. I don't want to put my TP. I want to put the TP of the person that's kind of scary. And not saying I'm talking about him. I'm talking about all of y'all traders that might be scary, right? Why is it not moving, man? My mouse is. This is where your actual TP would be. I'm not gonna lie. It would be here, because this is the high. This is where the supply was. This is where you would buy. You would buy right here, and you would get out right here. And that's still a decent trade if you're trying to scalp and all. Like me, I would have never got out. I would have stayed in it until I felt like it. But yeah, now it looked crazy, but look, that's 145 pips from the highest point to the lowest point. And that's simple trading. So your stop loss is down here. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy, because that's like a 1 to 5 risk. You wouldn't do that. But if you follow the trade to the highest point, and how would you know the highest point? You wouldn't. You would just have to kind of like keep trailing your trade and get out. You have to keep trailing your trade and get out. But he's right on this one. This would have been a nasty stop loss. I give him credit on that. If you trade properly, he's right about this part. This is definitely a no-no. I wouldn't do this. I still would have took this trade, though, just because of the cross. I would have took the trade, but he's right about the whole part about getting out. And boom, I just saw where you would get out. Based off, let's just use the EMA cross again, right? I'm going to show you where you would get out. Whenever you're in a trade or the EMA cross, I'm going to show you where you get out at. This is your stop loss. This is your actual stop loss based off the strategy. And I came up with this on the fly, guys, just to show y'all how this works, right? If this is your strategy that you're using, when you see the cross again, that means price is reversing and you get the freak out. How hard is that? How does that not work? Now, what's your risk to reward here? Let's look. Let's look at how many pips you risk to win this. Because that's what really matters too. Because this is your entry. So if you put your stop loss here, which is wild, I got to agree with him on this. This is crazy if you do this. I wouldn't do this either. He's right about that part. 300, but you got to risk it for the biscuit. 365 pips was risked to get 627. So the risk to the reward is double. But that's proper risk to reward management. See, I can't. Now I got to take it back. If you risk 300 for 600, chart. That's a 1 to 2. It's right. It adds up. And the moving average cross gave you that. The problem that I think, let's start deleting this. This is gross. The problem that I think he's having, which I see with a lot of YouTube traders, is that they don't know what EMAs to use. And the reason I know that is because the person who taught me has financial information on this. They know what the EMAs are for and what to do and what combinations to use, which is definitely important because I see when you use the wrong combinations, you don't get these results that I'm getting. So that's a factor that I think people overlook because they think that it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters a lot. So I think that's kind of why homie is misconstrued on this, why he got it wrong. And that's cool and everything, but I think that's what the problem is in a nutshell with homie.
KJ Cell, 1
cool.
minute chart.
It's cool. And part of my robots, because I'm sorry, I never stop working and testing things. So
when it comes to trendline trading, like especially breakouts.
And once again, in his defense, I'll give him a defense here. I'll give him an out. The reason that he is getting this issue that he's getting is because he's on this time frame. And I don't knock it. I don't think he's wrong for trading this way. See, I'm not going to say, oh, he's wrong. He should trade like me. Me and him trade complete opposites. The reason that these methods don't work is because he's trading on a scalper's landscape. Like, he's trading on a lower time frame. He's trading, for a small amount of pips with bigger lots. Because y'all see I be using a standard lot 9% of the time. I just started recently using a bigger lot than that. And I still don't like it. I'm still not used to it. I still like my one lot. Even though I could be making more money by upping my lot. I still don't because that's the psychology in us. And his psychology is against anything.
We have a bullish breakout to the upside on Aussie dollar 1 hour chart.
See? How can you hit a 1 hour chart signal like that and not take it? That's how I get busy. Y'all be seeing what I post. If I post what I got now on my chart, y'all probably would have a heart attack. I probably would, and I'm gonna open one just to see for myself, and I'm gonna show it to y'all live. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show it to y'all live so y'all can see. This is why me and him are different. You see that? You see that? And I got the name up there. I'm gonna take the name off because that doesn't matter. But I just wanted to show that. You know what I mean? The name was there. I know I normally don't show the name, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. But that's the reason for that. That's the reason for that. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason for that. That's the reason. 10,000 pips is on my chart right now. You know what I mean? And that's the reason for that. That's the reason, my guy. That's the reason. That's the reason. But yeah, I'm gonna just stop his video right there.
KJ Cell, 1 minute chart.
I don't want to continue to talk about his video because I want to make this like all about him. But yeah. So that's the new breakout, by the way. I know y'all didn't see the new breakout robot. That's it. That is the new breakout robot coming very soon. But anyway, that's what you hear talking in the back. But yeah, once again, guys, y'all gotta just once again understand this is all entertainment. And those of us that really know how to trade, we kind of know that already. I know those of y'all that's really trading out here, y'all ain't gotta worry about it. Because you see the new cloud, y'all see way more trades on it. It's getting way more busy. It's giving y'all this indicator right here to let you know when you should be definitely taking these trades. It talks now. The breakout now talks. It tells you when the trade is popping and all that. It don't get no easier than this, guys. I don't know what to tell y'all. But this video is very long already, and I don't want to make it too long, so I'm going to end it by saying, if you are a scalper, then what Dolly is saying is correct for you. If you are somebody that's looking to hold your trades
KJ
longer,
buy 1 minute chart.
And I don't knock either or side of this, because if you're a scalper and you don't mess with that, I don't blame you. I was the same way, but scalping wasn't working for me. Intraday and swing trading does, and that's what I do. I'm a swing trader, I'm an intraday trader, so I could understand these strategies way better. You have to learn these strategies in order to be successful as an intraday somebody that's scalping would get cooked if they didn't know the strategies that he says doesn't work. So I get where he's coming from. But I feel like as he trades for a little bit longer, he's going to respect these things later on. And hopefully we all be alive to see this and hear this. Maybe one day he'll shoot me a message like, hey, you was right 3 years from now, 2 years from now, a year from now, saying, hey, you was right, that stuff does work better now that I'm doing this. Because right now he's scalping, and that's what's killing the market for him. And I respect that. I'm not knocking nobody that's scalping that doesn't want to wait and sit in trades and stuff. I really completely get that. But I've been in trades for weeks, days. I got trades that I've been in these Apple trades for how long? It's been going on a month. I've been in some of my Apple trades. So, hey, it is what it is.
TK buy, 1 minute chart.
I'm going to end the video here, man. Just like I said, this is no disrespect to none of the other YouTube traders. If I make a response video, I'm going to try to be respectful. I'm not trying to build a channel and beefing with people or dissing people, because he's successful at doing what he did and it worked for him. And I'm successful at doing what I do and it works for me. So at the end of the day, there's no reason two of us can't have a conversation without it being some nasty drama or beef, right? So just know that, yes, he's right. If you're scalping, I think those are bad strategies. If you're intraday swing trading, they do work very well for that. So I really feel like all of that factors into saying this doesn't work. Doesn't work depending on what you're trying to do. It depends on the goal when you come to the market, if this is a good idea or not. And I'm not going to keep defending this Ema Cross, because I feel like I've become the defender of it, and I don't hardly use it. As you can see, this is a cloud. This is not even an EMA right here. I use so many different strategies, it just doesn't make sense for me to even be set up here defending the EMA. But I just got to let you guys know it does work, but it just depends on what you're trying to do.
We have a possible change to bearish momentum. Look for a move to the downside on dollar Swiss 1 minute chart.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Remember, man, Trade Game Official, I'm your host, Jimmy. We just talked about how you escape the 9 to 5 through financial freedom and Forex. All right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And be careful what you listen to on YouTube, because what you don't know might hurt you. And you might be trading harder and not smarter. Just know those things, man. Trade smarter, not harder. Stop making it hard for yourself. Peace.